Just a couple quick announcements. One, just a reminder, 2 weeks from yesterday, we will be having our fall festival out in the parking lot. If anybody would like to have a booth out there, we have open, I think we got about 6 or 7 right now lined up. But it'll be from 10 to 4 on November 8th outside the parking lot. And also right after the service, Dr. Xavier is going to be having a book signing. So please join us in the lobby right after the service, and he'll be signing books and speaking to you. I think that is it. All right, here you go, sir.
Thank you, sir. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Unity of Birmingham. Before we begin, I just want to take a moment to celebrate all the birthdays. We've got so many birthdays. October, September. We had Miss Peggy in September. We had Lynette in October. We have, Who else is in October? Miss Evelyn in October. Lawson in October. We have, Brother Aleem in September. We have, I believe, Dory is coming up in November. All the birthdays. Put your hands together for all the fall babies. Yes, I try to remember everybody's birthday because you all are important to me. So, and before you say, "Oh, I do check Bree," so there you go. So, good morning again. As we enter into affirmative prayer, I want to begin with a reading of today's daily word. Subscriptions are really low. I think it's like $9.99 a year. So if you don't have the digital subscription, definitely go to unity.org and subscribe. You get that daily blast of inspiration every day from that daily word pamphlet, which has been around for about 100 years now, inspiring the world. So today's quote is discover. As I discover, I learn and grow. Just a brief bit from the reading. It says, my life is a journey of discovery. Boy, is that truth. Over the years, I may have traveled to other lands, discovering new cultures and landscapes. And through my explorations, I have learned all kinds of things and grown in all kinds of ways. And my spiritual life, too, has been a discovery. And so with that, I invite you to find your place of power. Take a moment to relax. Allow your mind to rest in your body as your body is resting in the chair. In this sacred space, we give thanks in advance for the movement of spirit. We give thanks for the activity of intelligence that flows through our body every day, animating us, giving us life and life abundantly. We affirm in advance that that same intelligence and activity known as divine love is moving through this place, heart to heart, mind to mind, uniting us all under the banner of love. We allow that energy to flow forth throughout the service, blessing and enriching us, and allowing us to hear and receive and experience that in which we came here for, so that we may leave this place better than we came. We speak blessings on those that are on the way here and those that are tuning in online. We empower them with the spirit of faith, love, and hope, knowing in advance that everything in their worlds and ours work together for good. And so it is. Amen.
that he gave to me within my heart is praying, and he walks with me, and he talks with me, and he tells me I'm his own, and the joy we share as we but it bids me go through the voice of wild, his voice to me is calling, calling, and he walks with me, and he talks with me, and he tells me I am his own, and the joy we share as we tarry. No other has
Thank you. This is our time for meditation. So I invite you to relax. Sit in a way that is relaxed yet attentive. And if you'd like, I'd like to guide us through an attunement to the alchemical elements: earth, water, fire, air, and ether. So beginning with the earth element, breathing in through the mouth, and out through the mouth. Just a normal breath. It's not accentuated either in nor out. And as you breathe in the earth element up through your feet, through your spine, and attune to the earth element within your body, that which is solid, the bones, skin, the solidity of organs. And as that earth element comes in with the in-breath, allow it to purify all that is solid within. And on the exhalation, allow any impurities to be drawn back to the mama earth. And as you breathe in, feel the love of that mother. Allow that love to permeate all the physicalness of your body. Feel that love purify and revivify. And now tuning into the water element, all that is within us that is liquid. Our blood flowing through our arteries and veins, circulating, lymphatics, all our cells are swimming in liquid. And allow that to be purified. Breathing in through the mouth and out through the nose. Allowing the magnetism of water to withdraw any impurities. Feeling revivified. And now fire, breathing in through the mouth and out through the nose. It might become a little bit of a shorter and sharper breath. Feeling the fire of our passions, of our purpose, that which motivates us. Feeling the fire of love. Feeling the ardor of that love towards whatever the beloved might be. You might feel a little heat. Allow that fire breath to purify passions, to remove anger, transmute anger into love. And now, tuning into the air element, breathing in through the mouth and out through the mouth. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. And feel yourself unbounded by skin, just allowing your whole body to respirate as the air element comes in with the in-breath, purifies and revivifies. With the out-breath, allow it to just dissipate. And feel yourself expanding with the air, not feeling skin-bound. We are not only our bodies. And finally, ether, which is the quintessence of all the elements. A subtle breathing in through the nose and mouth, and out through the nose and mouth. And it's as if the universe is breathing you. The boundaries between what you perceive as you and everything else become permeable, almost as if it's a veneer. Allow yourself to feel united with all. All that is us, and we are all that is. Our perception of we recedes into oneness, the only being, united with all the illuminated souls who form the embodiment of the messenger of God, that message which unites all into the one perfect being. Amen.
Jingling pockets are. In this space, while you're already relaxed, just stay there for a few moments. It's good to take some time out for yourself, to allow the world to just be, so that you can see yourself separate from the world and feel your own existence and feel your own nervous system, which at times can sound scary. My favorite quote, Jacob Collier, says, "Go to the place where stars go to sleep." So allow yourself to rest so that when you come back into an experience of the world, you can bring the best of who you are and contribute to the solution without adding to the problems of the world. And if you will, take a big, deep breath in through the nose, release the sound of ah, allowing yourself to self-regulate and co-regulate with your neighbors, feeling a sense of inner peace and tranquility that will carry you throughout the rest of your day. And so it is. If you will, rub your hands together. Let's send this healing energy to those that are watching online. Point your hands in the direction of the camera. Say this with me. Divine love, in us blesses and multiplies all that you hear and all that you receive. Know in this moment you are safe and loved. And so it is. Our ministry is supported by our partners, which are you. Remember to like and subscribe wherever you see this message, either Facebook, YouTube, or our website, and share it with a friend. If you have a comment, please dialogue with us. Post your comment in the chat box, and we would love to continue this conversation both now and offline. And don't forget to donate at the conclusion of this message to the number that appears on your screen, or log on to unitybham.org and click on giving. For those that are in-house, that are in need of prayer support, we do have our prayer chaplains spread around the room. Put your hands together for all of our chaplains. There we go. And so it is. And so it is. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. This beautiful fall. We call it dreary, but not in a bad sense. Like, it's good to have some downtime. which is what I want to talk about this morning under the title of rest. Say this with me, rest. As we conclude our collective sort of investigation of the subject of passion, looking at themes or titles such as following one's own heart and momentum and maximizing the moment and all of those prior conversations. So if you haven't watched them, make sure you log onto our website or go to our Facebook page or YouTube channel to check them out. But it's good to kind of put some conversation in the conversation about passion, because energies can run high, especially in today's climate. I'm not sure if you've watched the news, or if you don't watch the news, if you just sometimes look at your home environment, if there are people outside of your home or people in addition to you that live in your home, sometimes tensions can run high. So while we're talking about passion and taking advantage of the moment and looking at openings and not missing out on opportunity, it's important to consider rest. Because sometimes, just to be frank, your nervous system has to rest. Charles Fillmore, when he sort of talks about rest and a lot of other things in that subject matter, under the guise of resurrection, he says that resurrection is sort of a high energy thing. And resurrection isn't just about an individual coming up out of a grave that we associate with Jesus, but resurrection is this feeling of lifted upness. And as the weather is changing and we're moving towards fall, it's important for us to have practices, or turn back to practices where after there's been a great resurrection, we know how to embody everything that we have experienced so far. As we're moving into the winter time, sometimes those winter blues kicks in. I call them the Jason months. It's a throwback to Greek mythology, the July, August, September, October, and November. And if you remember your Greek mythology, all of those wonderful heroes, they all encountered challenges, right? But at the end of those challenges, they took away great lessons. And all of the myths are exactly the same, Joseph Campbell, which means that everything that we go through in life, good, bad, or indifferent, it's all cyclical, you know? And when you sort of understand the end part of the joke or the end part of the game, you can kind of pop out of it, and then you can start playing with it. Life doesn't have to be so stressful. You can plan your intentionality or plan your intenseness. When the sun is strong and when the sun is high in the sky, to quote Dosha and Pita and Kapha, some of you might find that you eat more, understanding your dosha. When the sun is strong in the sky during certain times of the year, you might find yourself going out more. But when that intensity sort of falls and everything sort of drops down, instead of having a hard crash, it's good to have a nice, relaxing cushion. Can you say amen to that?
Amen.
During these winter times, you might find that the weather isn't as pleasant. Your body has to adjust. But it's not just your physical body, it's also your nervous system and your mind. On a personal level, I think that our nervous system is what a lot of the mystics and psychologists have referred to as the word soul. We associate soul with being this spirit thing that we can't quite touch. Charles Fillmore says that the soul is sort of the personality. Well, psychology says your personality sort of comes and arises out of your nervous system. That nervous system has to have a chance to rest. For everything that we are called on to be throughout the year, that nervous system is directly involved. People tell you to be more loving, where you have to have a nervous system that's conditioned to be more loving. If you have a traumatic past, it's hard to be nice. Hello, somebody. You look just like my last friend. And there's a reason why that was my last friend. Won't you be my neighbor? Right? But that nervous system has to be conditioned over and over again, which is why we come together, bell hooks, to allow our collective energies to come together and our heart to be tilled to handle the weight of our calling. The real question is, what is our calling? Our calling is to be alive. To quote Jesus, Jesus is credited as saying, I have come so that you might have life and have it more abundantly. Say this affirmation with me. I have come so that you might have life and have it more abundantly. So your first calling is to live life. If you are struggling with your career, I know many of you are retired. If you're struggling with your third, fourth, and fifth career, what do I do post-retirement? Or I just retired, now I'm working, I would like to retire like for real, right? Your calling, your truest calling in life is actually to live. We don't come here tabula rasa, blank slate. For those of you who can remember when babies were born with their eyes closed, they were drugged. Babies are born nowadays with their eyes wide open so they see everything. And if you give them a chance, their personalities kick in really fast. You make a joke and they look at you and frown. You trip and fall and they laugh. It's like, oh God. Or you look at them and they look like your grandmother. It's like, oh my God, my grandmother came back. Y'all remember the days when grandma would say, all right now, you're going to mark that baby after me. And then the baby comes out with a little small afro. Just like grandma. She told you she was coming back. Reincarnation is a real thing. But these nervous systems have to be conditioned for life. Life is sort of given to us and it becomes what we make it to be. So Jesus cautions us to be not conformed to the image of the world. Now, just to pause here for a second, the world can be catastrophic and the world can be extremely chaotic. But at the same time, the world can be beautiful. And I think that's the name of the show. It's not one way or the other. It's what the Greeks call a tragi-comedy. It's like a good show. You laugh, you cry, you find a villain, and then you get into the story of the villain and find out that they were hurt. So you fall in love with the villain and find yourself raging against the heroes and cheering for the villains in the TV show. That's sort of the vicissitudes of life where lovers become friends, friends become enemies, enemies become friends, and then that solitude time. And that sort of is the whole entire show. So if you don't know what life is about, that is what it is. Or as my elders used to say, keep living. Oh, I had this wonderful time. I met this person. Keep living. Oh, man, they're horrible. Keep living. Whether good, bad, the answer is always keep living because it gets better at times. And yes, it gets worse at times as well. But learning how to find a place of peace within your soul, you start to practice what they talk about in unity teachings and in other spiritual movements where you can step out. You can practice acceptance and commitment. Now, acceptance and commitment doesn't mean you have to accept life as it is. What you are accepting is that life simply is, that changes happen, moves swing, they go back and they go forth. People are in need and then people are not in need. There is supply and then there is demand. So much binary stuff in the world. And if you are always in the throngs of everything that tends to happen or tend to occur, come on, Miss Peggy. Everything that tends to occur, your nervous system burns out, and it burns out quickly. And so sacred text gives us practices like meditation. Sometimes really good meditation will make you feel bad, like you're not a meditator at all, because it's like, I sat there and I went to sleep. Well, good, you probably needed it. I was supposed to be praying and then I found myself sort of zoning out. Well, that's good. Your attention is tired of holding things. So my question is, I guess as a homework assignment, what do you have in your life that's set up on a very basic level where you can find rest? And not just on your pillow at night. Are there places and spaces in the world where you can go, right? I started back my walking practice and I went to the park. I went to the park all week just to get some steps in. I wasn't even trying to do the exercise thing, but I just wanted to relax on a personal level. And I found myself at the end of my day going there. And I was like, okay, yeah. And then I was like, let me get up earlier. And then I went during the beginning of the day and I was like, oh, this ain't the same. So now being more intentional, I actually enjoy watching the sun set over the park, even though I tend to walk into a bed of flies while walking around the lake. But I enjoy the process of watching the sunset. It relaxes my mind. In that moment, it's my heaven and my haven. I don't have a worry. I don't have a care. I'm not carrying anyone. I'm not answering anyone's questions. I'm not providing for anyone. I'm not paying nobody's bills in that moment. Hello, somebody. You need if you are in my home, do not watch this part of the episode. If you need a moment where you can just let it all go, and in that space, you find yourself going to pieces without falling apart. Because going to pieces tends to be the opposite of what you want when you're the kind of person that likes to have it all together. You like to make sure everything is good, everything is set, everybody's okay, everything's accounted for, everything is measured, and all the money is there, and everything goes according to plan. And when there's a monkey wrench or a curve in the road, you go to pieces. Well, I'm inviting you into the experience of allowing things to go to pieces on purpose, because you can only see the measure of your life when you step out of it. You get a chance to see what your life is actually made of. You get a chance to see what people will actually do if you don't give them the answer. You get a chance to see what your children will do as they are navigating their own individual milestones. So you purposely ignore that call, and instead you go and have a slice of cake. I'm inviting you to take a step out. Not a church attendance, please come to church. but give yourself a break. To quote scripture, Jesus says that there are two people laying in the bed, one taken and the other left, right? Wonderful parable that can be interpreted in 1,000 different ways. But what I took away from that this weekend in preparation for this message is that most of the time we take the one that gets out of the bed, two taken, one left. The one that has to go out and do the things, to get things done, get up and get going, to get some activity going. What if instead of jumping into the character or the personality or the nervous system of the one that gets up and gets going, what if you are the one that's left on purpose? What if you take that extra few minutes and get some rest? What if you sleep over that alarm clock? What if you call in sick? Or what if, even though there's something that's important that has to be done, what if you reschedule it? Is it going to be the end of the world if you reschedule? And I can use that analogy because we rescheduled our board meeting like 25 times this week. But it's okay to hit pause. That's why there's a pause button on our music. There's a pause button on our television. There's a pause button on every remote control that you can probably find. There's even a pause button somewhere probably on our phone. It's difficult to pause people. You know how you pause people? You ignore them. Take a purposeful break is what I'm inviting you into. After maximizing the moment, after enjoying the summer, after enjoying all of the vicissitudes of life that life has offered you all year long, have a Calgon moment. Let it take you away. Because your nervous system needs it. This too is a part of spiritual practice. Get outdoors. Emily Dickinson, the quote that I always share, nature is that art of which we know not to say. Myrtle Fillmore, nature is the glorious face of God. So instead of getting out for health or getting out for activity, why not just get out for you? Be a tourist in your own city. Pretend that you've never seen it before, and you'll be surprised as to what you will find. Be a tourist in your own life and experience it as if it were the first time. T.S. Eliot, to cross this experience and experience it together as if it were the first time. All of the poets, all of the mystics, they were all inviting us into a different experience of living, a more contemplative experience where we could sit down and relax for a second. Now, some folks don't need to relax because they don't do nothing. And we all got them people probably living in our house. It's like they've been in that room for 2 years. I don't even know what they look like. Your kid ever come out the room and got taller? It's like, did you grow since last time I saw you? Right? We all have those basement children. It's like, don't go in the basement. Why? Such and such is there. How old are they? 45. But that period of letting go and relaxing allows you to be brand new. Because remember, going to pieces is a good thing. When we take a look at just nature in and of itself, the leaves that fall away become the foundation, the enrichment of the soil that allows life to blossom. And so goes our life. For everything that falls apart, for everything that does not go your way, there are lessons to be learned, yes? And those lessons from it, those renegotiations, because again, sometimes things fall apart because they don't match our expectations. One ending can be a new beginning. Things don't have to end in their finality. Some things just need to be renegotiated. I don't know who that's for. It's like, we ain't got to stop. Let's just do it differently. Because I like you, but not like that. Right? But for everything that breaks down, they become the foundation for something new. right? When we look at life holistically, because you start to see the patterns. And for my neurodivergent ADHD people out there, I know you see patterns because you see movement and you see things and you see how everything's connected together. And sometimes it can be overwhelming to that nervous system. You too, I'm talking to you neurodivergent people, you too deserve rest, where you allow that brain to just sort of dial down, to do like how the TVs did in the 60s. We're now signing off. Beep. Right? Because when you come back on, you've reserved that power. You've had that rest. Mind, body, and soul. Everything sort of comes to a halt so that things can come back alive, more new, what the meditator called revivement. It's enlivenment, which is the key to enlightenment. In order to wake up, you have to have something to wake up from. And what you're waking up from is not just the misunderstandings of life, which is what we tend to wake up from when we're jolted out of our comfort zone. I'm inviting you into an experience where you learn how to wake up from deep, deep rest. A time of invisibility, a time where nobody knows you, a time where nobody can find you, a time where you're not going out as much, where you're coming in. And those that you bring in are a part of your inner circle, so you cocoon together. And through that process, you're able to grow and sort of metabolize all of the experiences that you've gone through throughout life and throughout the year. So when you come out at the top of the year, you're a brand new creature. Behold, I make a new thing. And so it is. To ground this message in spiritual text, I want to point your attention to a passage of scripture in the book of Mark. It's the 6th chapter, I believe the 31st verse. Now, just to give you some history, Mark is an interesting gospel because it didn't always start off popular. In fact, St. Augustine said that the book wasn't that wonderful at all. St. Augustine said that Mark was actually a copy of Matthew and so on and so forth. We know now in scholarship that Mark was actually the original gospel. And Mark is beautiful because it's sort of a biographical spirituality. And that's why it wasn't so popular, or wasn't as popular as all the other gospels. The other gospels are synoptic, Matthew, Mark, and Luke. John is different because it's not similar. It's a little bit different. But Mark, being written in the 70s, has an interesting passage that kind of connected with me as I prepare for this message. In chapter 6, the disciples were doing a bunch of things. And so they're kind of coming back to their teacher saying, hey, we did all of this wonderful, cool stuff. You got to hear about it. Man, there was this person who was healed of such and such. Or man, there was this individual who I helped them and they were counseled and they got set free. Or man, I had this couple that I work with. And Jesus told them the opposite of what they were sharing. He said, all that is well and good, but I want you to do something for me. I want you to go ye to a quiet place, or come apart to a quiet place by yourself and rest a while. Which was the opposite of the energy that they were bringing, because he understood that with all of the excitement and the bubbling up of activity and the stress of the week, who's ever had a stressful week before? You need to have downtime, because if not, your nervous system pays for it. If you're not sick, you find yourself being overwired and overcompensating in a situation that should be met with a measure of calm. But you're the wired person in the room running around trying to fix things and everything is okay. You are allowed time to rest, and what this gives you the strength to do is to meet the moment. Not just any moment, but every moment. You can meet the moments of what Catherine Ponder calls chemicalization. Say this with me, chemicalization. Chemicalization, according to Catherine Ponder and Charles Fillmore, is a way of describing all of our efforts having the opposite result. And everything that we feel inside. This is what happens to your nervous system, where you are working on something and you want it to go this way and everything goes that way, goes in the opposite direction. Your nervous system freaks out. There's the experience of overwhelm. And then there's the experience of what she calls basically noise. And at the end of that chemicalization process, both her and Charles Fillmore says that fulfillment kicks in. You know why? Because you realize that the game of life is for stuff to happen. Life is dynamic. And if you know dynamic, it's the root word of dynamite. Life is explosive. meaning both good and bad happen at the same time, because one person's good is another person's bad. Oh, I met someone new. That's great for you, but that means that someone else didn't have a chance to meet them. Oh, I married her. That means she didn't marry him or marry her, and so on and so forth. Oh, I got this job. That means that there was someone else in the interview who didn't get it. I got this bid. That means that they decided not to go with someone else. Spiritual practice gives you the tools to be able to see everything holistically, and our job is to sort of carry it out. And we do it one step at a time by processing all of our experiences and witnessing how it all can sort of come together for our good when we allow ourselves to be grounded in truth, to be grounded in something that's real, and then to get some rest from it all. Thank you all for listening. Peace and blessings. Y'all yawning already. Our offering. For those that tune in online, remember to log on to unitybham.org and click on giving, or text your best gift at the number that appears on your screen. Those that give in person, our ushers are making their way forward to collect the offering while Adonna gives us a selection.
Okay, so we all have permission to have rest. Now we're going to get chemicalized. So everybody stand up and help us out.
Say this with me. We bless this offering, affirming it will be used for the building of this ministry. We bless the givers. We declare their gifts will return back to them with good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. And so it is. Put your hands together one more time. Also, immediately following the peace song, we'll have a brief presentation by Dr. Xavier to talk about his latest book.
You all stand for let there be peace on earth.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it be in
Prayer of protection. The light of God surrounds us.
I am the light of God.
The love of God enfolds us.
I am the love of God.
The power of God protects us.
I am the power of God.
The presence of God watches over us.
I am the presence of God.
Wherever we are, God is.
Wherever I am, God is, and all is well.
All right, hang in here for a few minutes.
Hang here.
Now we'll have a brief presentation from Dr. Xavier. If you will, give me a few minutes of your time before you move around. You want to come on, Doctor? You can come this way, Doctor.
Thank you, Pastor Jesse. I have always been impressed by his level of knowledge. So there are very few people I have come across who knew about the accident.